What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
This is the OPS pregame report.
And welcome live from Spartan Arena on the campus of Homestead High School, where we're getting set for this SAC rivalry matchup between the Carroll Chargers and the Homestead Spartans. Good evening, I'm Brayden Carroll, joined alongside Chris Kohrman and sideline reporter Karlie Flanagan. We're just about 9 minutes away from tip-off of tonight's game, and Chris, Homestead's just one win away tonight from an SAC title.
Yeah, Homestead has the opportunity to go back-to-back SAC champs. Carroll's looking to come in here and play spoiler on Homestead, trying to get back-to-back SAC championships.
And now let's get into the OPS pregame report. Chris, Homestead's off a massive SAC road win at the Cage last Friday. 49-35 at Carroll, or at Concordia, without Fletcher Lawyer. Meanwhile, Carroll's coming off a blowout loss at number 3 Carmel, 70-41.
Yeah, complete opposite games right there. You saw Homestead get a big win over Concordia in the Cage without Fletcher Lawyer. That's huge for them, getting the boost of confidence for this team, knowing that they can win without Fletch. And then with Carroll, just a tough loss. Carmel, very good team. We saw Homestead play them earlier on. But Carmel just becomes a different team in February and March. So no surprise to see that tough loss to Carmel.
And Carroll was able to keep it close until 2 points in the second quarter. That never helps your cause. And tonight is the final conference game. And taking a look at standings in the SAC heading into tonight, if Homestead wins, they are back-to-back SAC champions. If Carroll can pull off the upset, Snyder could win the conference with a win over Southside. The conclusion to a fun title race is tonight.
Yeah, Snyder's got their hands full with Southside tonight. That's no easy put-away game for Snyder's against Southside, but Homestead, very simple for them. You come in tonight, you beat Carroll, and you win the SAC. So I think for Homestead, keep it simple tonight against Carroll, and you're going to come out alive here as SAC champs.
Homestead certainly has to be walking into this one confident that they will walk out with an SAC championship. And Chris, we haven't talked much about it this year, but the Mr. Basketball race is getting heated up now. And some argue the front runner is here at Spartan Arena in Homestead's Fletcher Lawyer. Throw in Lawrence North CJ Gunn, Cathedral's Tayshawn Comer, and Westfield's Brayden Smith. And these four are classified as the top contenders for the coveted award. With 27.3 points per game, 5.4 rebounds per game, it's just hard to argue against Lawyer's case compared to the rest.
Yeah, like you said, points per game is a huge thing for Fletcher Lawyer. He's outscoring CJ Gunn in that category by 5. So, you look at Fletcher Lawyer as obviously right now the front runner for this, Mr. Basketball award, and I don't really see that changing. I think we do see Fletcher Lawyer getting his hands on that number 1 Indiana jersey come the end of this season.
And Fletcher Lawyer's played against all 3 of those, and against all 3 of those, he's really had a great game. And Chris, taking a look at Tuesday's 4A AP poll, Homestead is back in the top 5 for the first time since the December 21st rankings. Joined in the top 5 by 4 teams that they've already butted heads with earlier this season, Homestead's finally back to where they want to be.
Well, yeah, this is where Homestead wants to see their season be. You want to be in the top 5. And like you said, Brayden, Homestead has seen all those teams above them, right? You're sitting at 1 and 3 against those teams. So that could be just a little discouraging, but you look at the others receiving votes, you're 2-0 against those teams. So, Homestead, they have played the tougher competition. They're pretty even right there. If you take all those teams, Homestead 3-3, splitting all those teams.
Number 5, very respectable ranking for the 5-loss Spartans, 17-5, and they're back up there at the top of the board. And that'll take us to our first break. Coming up, an in-depth look at the Carroll Chargers and this rivalry between Homestead and Carroll. The OPS pregame show continues after this.
Marco's Pizza. Located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, subs, and more. Order online at marcos.com or by phone at 625-6800. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the .91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
Welcome back to the OPS pregame show ahead of tonight's action between Homestead and Carroll. I'm Brayden Carroll, joined by Chris Kohrman. Spartan Arena filling up as we're getting closer to the start of this rivalry showdown. And taking a look at the season for the Chargers, it's been a down year for the team that was tied for first in the SAC last year heading into this game. And now they're in last place coming into it this season with one win on the season versus Lures.
This is a very young team for Carroll. We see a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors on this team. So now I'm going to call this a rebuilding year for Carroll. I bet they come out next year. They're going to be a lot better than this year. But like you said, Brayden, down year for them. Coming up, you lose your star player in Jalen Jackson. You get a new head coach. There's a big transition going on right now. And obviously for Carroll, they're taking it, the bad way.
And Homestead shooting for their third SAC title in 4 years tonight would be the most SAC titles in this 6-year stretch since joining the SAC. And Carroll coincidentally in second place with 2 titles.
Yeah, this is a big game for Homestead. You come out and you win the SAC tonight with a win. And like you said, Brayden, Carroll getting in on the SAC action as well.
And tonight's matchup is between 2 big-time rivalries in the city. The 60th meeting between Homestead and Carroll. Sparty leads the series by 7 wins, and it's been a very back-and-forth rivalry in recent years.
Yeah, back and forth. It seems like most recently the road team wins every game. We've seen that the past couple times they played. The road team always wins. Homestead definitely looking to change that tonight.
And Carroll has had a nice run on the road at Spartan Arena as of recently. Homestead hasn't won at home versus Carroll since 2016 in an instant classic tie game, 57-57. Homestead ball, final possession, winner takes all game. Let's take a look back.
Down to 7 seconds. Curry tied at 57 with 5 seconds. Curry trying to get inside, nothing there. Step back, open 3, it's gone! Touch, Curry knocks it down. Spartans win. Spartans win! 60-57.
With Homestead's win, they jumped the first-place Chargers in the SAC standings and won the school's first SAC title in the first year of joining the conference. A fantastic finish, and now they're playing again tonight at home with the chance to claim another one with a win.
It's almost like the perfect setup for Homestead because it always comes down to this Homestead-Carroll game to end the SAC. They play their last game against each other. It's a perfect way to end it for both of these teams.
Homestead-Carroll, very historic rivalry between these two. Homestead's longest win streak, 8 in 2009 and 2015. Carroll, they've had multiple 4-game winning streaks. Their most recent was in 2005 to 2008. Carroll won the first 7 of their first 8 in this series. They won the first 4 games from 1970 to 1973. They've met twice in the tournament, 2015, 2016. Homestead won both of those. 2015 was the state title run. This is a really historic rivalry, and it's time to meet up at Spartan Arena again.
Yeah, it's time to get it on the road right here. Last SAC game for both of these teams. It's a winner-take-all for Homestead. You win the SAC. For Carroll, you're just looking to play spoiler on the Homestead Spartan season.
And Homestead being on pace with a win tonight to win the SAC. After that Snyder game, things really looked bleak for the Spartans, but they have gotten some help from Bishop Dwanger's upset over Snyder, beating Concordia last week, and now they find themselves in position to win another SAC chip.
Yeah, Bishop Dwanger helping Homestead out big time with them beating Snyder, helped out Homestead a lot.
And that will take us to a break in the OPS pregame show, the 60th edition of Homestead Carroll. Friday night section coming up.
Rethink your limits.
And welcome back to the OPS Pregame Show. I'm Brayden Carroll, joined alongside Chris Kohrman, live from Spartan Arena for tonight's SAC rivalry showdown between Homestead and Carroll, the 60th meeting between these two teams. Homestead won the last one at Carroll to win the SAC, and now another opportunity to win the SAC title with a win tonight. And now let's send it down to sideline reporter Karlie Flanagan, who's standing by with head coach Chris Johnson.
Thanks, Brayden. And Coach, you're 32 minutes away from winning the second straight SAC championship title. What do the Spartans have to do to ensure that win?
Well, we're going to make sure we defend at a high level. That's always going to be there for us. You play hard, play with enthusiasm. So the defense has got to be there for us. The offense will show up, but we got to make sure we defend them.
Okay, good luck tonight. Brayden, back to you.
Thank you, Karlie. This is a big game for Homestead. We talked about it over and over again. This would be back-to-back SAC championships for the Spartans and a great way to head into the postseason.
No surprise right there. Coach Johnson feels confidence in his team's offense. He said defensively we got to be on it. No surprise right there. Coach Johnson's got a lot of trust in his team offensively and defensively.
A team that averages 62.6 a game and gives up 50.9 a game. This is a really good defense, number one in the SAC, but Carroll, they can put on the points, and Coach Johnson knows that about this squad. We're going to take one last break here from Spartan Arena. Homestead, Carroll, Friday night SAC action coming up.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Marco's Pizza. Located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, subs, and more. Order online at marcos.com or by phone at 625-6800. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the .91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena, where we're getting set for the 17-5 Homestead Spartans hosting the 1-17 Carroll Chargers. And let's take a look at tonight's OPS starting lineups for Homestead and Carroll. For the visiting Carroll Chargers, it'll be number 2, Hanson Hafner, the sophomore 6-foot guard. Number 4, Charlie Rudolph, the junior 6-foot guard. Number 5, Jackson Pardon, the sophomore 6'4 guard. Number 10, Kanan Hauser, the sophomore 6'4 guard. And the number 15, Andrew Sinish, the junior 6'2 guard.
Yeah, Carroll, they're changing up their lineup a little bit. We've seen Bain start. We saw Bain start against Carmel there, but now they're starting Charlie Rudolph. Carroll going with a little bit of a smaller lineup tonight against Homestead.
And not a single senior in the starting lineup for Carroll. Conversely, Homestead has 3 on this one. Number 2, Fletcher Lawyer, the senior 6'4 guard. Number 12, Kyron Kapowicki, the junior 6'2 guard. Number 14, Grady Swing, the senior 6'4 guard. Number 20, Andrew Leeper, the senior 6'6 forward. And number 22, Grant Leeper, the junior 6'7 forward. All of them are upperclassmen, very inversed with Carroll's lineup.
Yeah, definitely, a loaded senior lineup right here. We've seen the same lineup all year long. Coach Johnson, a lot of confidence in this lineup, and they're going to stick with it, and they've stuck with it all year, and it's worked.
And now let's take a look at the Fort Wayne Orthopedics keys to the game. Chris, what do you have for these squads?
No, I think for Carroll, you got to get off to a good start. You got to put the pressure on Homestead, and also, if you can get that three-point range work and get hot from the three-point line, you can find yourself sticking in this game. And for Homestead, efficiency on offense is a huge thing for them. If they're moving the basketball like they were against Concordia, they're going to set themselves up for a win. And you also cannot overlook Carroll. Carroll's a good team. We know that. They can play well. They got a lot of athletes on their team. Don't sleep on them coming into tonight.
Rule number 1, don't take a team at face value. Your officials tonight, Tommy Carey, Gery Chambers, and Andrew Hoffman. Tip-off at Spartan Arena. Hanson Hafner gets it for the Chargers, and we are off. 60th meeting between Homestead and Carroll. Andrew Sinesh deep at the perimeter. Hafner has it now, as he's taken his time here. Pretty much stood flat-footed. Carroll still slowing things down on this first possession.
This could be Carroll's way of thinking. If we're going to stick with Homestead, we take our time on the possession and try to limit Homestead's number of opportunities on offense.
Definitely not a widely liked strategy. Of course, a lot of people call for a shot clock in Indiana. Homestead gets the steal. Almost gave it back. 3-ball for Kapowicki, and he starts the scoring off for Homestead.
If Homestead can get Kyron Kapowicki going from 3, they're in a good position tonight against Carroll.
Now the Chargers still wanting to take their time here. You got to wonder, if they didn't turn the ball over on their first possession, how long would that have lasted? Because right now, they're hanging around.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, right now you just see Charlie Rudolph taking his time, standing right there. It's going to stand here. It could be a sense of strategy. You want to limit Homestead's offensive possession.
Hanson Hafner and Homestead will let Carroll play their game for the most part, trying to force some turnovers here and there.
Like I said, obviously Carroll's coming out with a small lineup, no big, so you don't see anybody trying to break for the post for Carroll.
When you do see somebody, they just refuse to pass down low. This is definitely a surprise. 60th meeting in a historic rivalry, and it looks like Carroll's strategy is going to be just slow the game down. Open shot, Sinesh didn't take it. Sinesh now, the center court logo. Grand Leaper trying to force a steal. Lawyer joining in. He saves it and gets it to Jackson Pardon. 3-ball. He answers! Long possession pays off. 3-3 game.
All right there, Carroll gets the open space, and Pardon's in the corner wide open. Good ball movement right there from Carroll.
Lawyer, dump to Andrew Leeper. Spins around, shot up. Great defense by the Chargers. Jackson Pardon cross timeline. Charlie Rudolph with it, and he is going to hold the ball. This strategy has been implemented many times in the state of Indiana. No shot clock in Indiana. A lot of teams utilize it. Timeout taken. As Coach Abbott will talk with his squad. 3-3 game. 4:50 in the first.
Brett, you keep talking about the strategy behind waiting all along, but the interesting thing is you really don't see teams do this in the first quarter, in the first minute of a game. We've seen this against Homestead with Lawrence North, but that was fourth quarter up by 2. So, this is definitely a strategy I didn't expect. Something just interesting coming from Carroll, just holding the ball. I think they've held it for around, a minute 32 minutes already in this game.
I haven't really seen this strategy at all in the state this season many times. Only game I can think of that was reported was Linton Stockton versus North Dave East. That game ended 24-22, where they held from jump with this is definitely a surprise. Homestead, high-scoring team as they average 62.6 a game. Carroll, 50.8 a game. The Chargers, I wonder if they will try to do something down low here.
I mean, look at the score they had against Southside, 49-39. Low-scoring game coming from Carroll. They probably did the same thing they're doing against Homestead right now.
Then again, Homestead's game against Southside was low-scoring too. But I wonder if Carroll is going to bring this strategy the whole game, even if it's close.
Well, this could be their sense of trying to stay in the game. If they feel, we're going to hold the ball, limit Homestead's possession, they think they can keep the game tight, as far as possible going into the second quarter. They feel that the game will still be tight at that point.
Like I said, this is a strategy that's been implemented by some very successful teams in Indiana's history, most notoriously 1954 Milan went on to win the state championship. It's usually implemented by small school teams. You don't often see big powerhouse, big schools like Carroll, a 4A school that's seen success in their school history. And there's a steal. Andrew Leeper forced it. That's the kind of defense Homestead's got to play this entire game. Gritty swing between the rings. Handoff Lawyer on the left side. Rudolph guarding, now Pardon as the switch. Kalpawiki, 3-ball contested, and he goes 2 of 2 so far from beyond.
Good shot right there by Kalpawiki. Same shot he took the first time, and he hits it there. Kalpawiki off to a hot start.
Kanan Hauser got some space, and that's going to be a double dribble. Kanan Hauser, another turnover for the Chargers.
I think if Carroll's looking to move the ball slow and they're looking to go slow, the only way Homestead's really going to find success is with turnovers from Carroll. You're either forcing them or Carroll's doing it to themselves.
3:28 left in this first quarter. 6-3 the score. Both teams have only had 3 possessions so far in this game. Carroll being the one to slow things down. Lawyer can't get it to go. Offensive board almost got it. Kalpawiki, Grant Leeper gets it. And the basket. Second chance effort for Grant Leeper.
That's a good rebound right there by Grant Leeper, bringing it down and then going up with a second chance effort.
I would think Carroll will go for points if it's a 2-possession game.
Well, that's what I was thinking, Brayden. Like you said right there, was Carroll's got to look to move the pace if they're down by more than 2 possessions, and that's when I thought when Kalpawiki hit the 3, if Homestead starts to extend the lead, you could put Carroll in a little bit of a quote-unquote panic mode to try and speed it up, and get out of this slow-moving offense.
That was a deep inbound to Hanson Hafner's in a spot that Carroll's been holding all game long. He's got some space, passes out. Hauser, tough shot, off the back of the iron, put back, can't get it. Offensive rebound, 3-ball from beyond, no good by Hafner. Another offensive board by Sinesh, and a jump ball forced by the Spartans. Possession, Homestead.
Right there, Homestead got to jump to those rebounds. You cannot let Carroll get down there and get 2 to 3 rebounds each possession on offense. Homestead, you got to jump to those rebounds and gather them. Homestead,
Max Schultz finds himself with a little bit of space. Now Kalpawiki near the center court logo. Afani Azakudo back out to Schultz. Homestead hanging around the perimeter. Now down low, Grant Leeper. Whistle. And a foul called. That'll be on Carroll. First foul of this game. That one will be on Jair Sampson.
Yeah, first foul of the game right there taken by Carroll. Took almost the full quarter to get the first foul of the game, so Homestead doing a good job staying out of the foul trouble early on in this game.
Kalpawiki with it for the Spartans. Now Schultz fires one to Azakudo. Spins around, nice one in the paint. A little acrobatic layup.
Good take right there by Azakudo. Saw him start against Concordia, so he's stepping up in this game against Carroll too.
Sinesh bounce pass to Hafner. Gets one out. Hauser, 3-ball. Can't answer, and Kapowicki with the rebound. Cross timeline. Ezekudo thought about 3. Now back to Kapowicki. Ezekudo in the corner. Moves inside. A blocking foul called as Ezekudo was almost forced out of bounds.
It's a good aggressive play right there by Ezekudo. Almost had the open shot, decided to take it in, and then drew contact. Good play right there by Ezekudo.
That one's called on Andrew Sinesh. His first, team second. Inbound to Grant Leeper, now Lawyer with it. Double team, cuts through defense, out to Kapowicki. Thought about 3, step back. No good. He had the defender on skates, but couldn't finish. Pardon. Fires one to Hafner in the corner. Now Sinesh with it. 10-3, minute 09 left in the first. Hauser now steps back to the half-court stripe. Honestly, Carroll might just hold for the final shot. But Homestead's going to do their best to force the turnovers. They almost did there.
After Carroll, you saw the slow offense to start. I'd expect the same right here. You don't want to give Homestead another opportunity because if they go down and hit a 3, you're down by 10 going in the second quarter.
Swing and Andrew Leeper in for Grant Leeper and Kyron Kapowicki. Carroll with it now, Hafner. Cross the timeline with 45 seconds in this first quarter of play. 60th meeting between these two teams. Homestead leads the series 33-26. Shot down low by Sinesh, no good, and Lawyer's there for the board. Nice one to Andrew Leeper. Jam time in Spartan Arena. Let the rim hang down low.
Good jam right there by Leeper, and that's going to bring some noise.
Ezekudo, and he's fouled on the way up by Hanson Hafner. Going to the line for 2 free throws, and that's got the Spartan student section on their feet.
It's like a complete, just difference right there. You saw Carroll, they had the ball with a minute left. They looked like they were going to hold it, and then they take a forced shot with 25 seconds left. So, it just seems like Carroll made a mistake right there, forcing a bad shot.
Free throw good by Ezekudo. And Carroll, if you're going to hold the ball, the second part of that job is to play sound defense. And right now, giving up 13 points and only putting up 3 in 1 quarter. That's not going to do it. Ten seconds left. Sinesh, handoff to Hafner. Ezekudo guarding, moves in, has some space, finds Pardon, open 3, rolls out, rebound Hafner, gets it up, can't get it to go. Homestead gets the defensive stop, and they lead 13-3 after 1 quarter of play.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena. Homestead leads 13-3 after 1 quarter of play. And the big story of that first quarter is Carroll opting to hold the ball. Looks like the strategy that they may use for the remainder of this game. But if you want to hold the ball, we said it before the break, you got to play sound defense at giving up 13 points while only putting up 3. Already, Carroll is putting themselves in a very tough position.
Well, yeah, and like we talked about in the first quarter, at some point you're going to have to speed things up if you get down by so much. So I'm interested to see what Carroll comes out with, down by 10 now.
Looks like they're trying to speed up. Andrew Leeper with the steal. Homestead's been forcing those all game long so far. As Akudo to the baseline, feed to Lawyer, out of bounds, tipped out by Jackson Pardon. It'll stay with Homestead. This Carroll team is really having a tough season. We talked about 117 on the season. They finished as number 23 in last year's Sagarin ratings. Right now they're at 211. One of the worst drops in Sagarin ratings history. Ready swing, thought about 3. Whistle blown, and that is a foul on Carroll off ball. Call that one on Kanan Hauser, his first, team's 4th.
And you're talking about, Carroll's season. Carroll's going to break an 8-season streak of finishing top 50 in Sagarin ratings.
This really has been an off year for the Chargers. A lot of people call it a rebuild season as they're returning all but 3 of their varsity players. Andrew Leeper, 3 ball, no good, a little too strong. Hauser with the rebound. Let's see Carroll's strategy here. Will they opt to take some time off the clock, or will they speed things up? You think that they would have to, right?
Well, you're down by 10, and you want to make a run here in the second quarter because you don't want to find yourself down by 15 or 20 going into halftime. So I'd assume you got to speed things up, but it doesn't look like Carroll's interested.
If you want to slow the game down, hey, you got to stop turning the ball over, as they have a lot so far and almost did there. You also got to play sound defense when you can't convert. They've struggled with that too.
I mean, Homestead's putting on the pressure. Homestead's not just letting them stand around and let them do their thing. Homestead's bringing the pressure with it and is forcing some Carroll turnovers.
Sideline inbound here for the Chargers. Charlie Rudolph to inbound. Great defense. And they force a timeout by Coach Abbott. Kyron Kapowicki with some nice inbound D.
Again, right there, Homestead putting the pressure on him on the inbound, and Rudolph couldn't find anyone open. Right before Abbott called the timeout, Rudolph was making the motion and throw that one in. It looked like he was going to be throwing it to nobody, and it was going to be a jump to the ball to see who could get it first.
What I've noticed the most in this game is Carroll, they just seem out of their comfort zone almost. They're trying to do something that they haven't really done this season, holding the ball. They've only scored on their first possession of the game. They've turned the ball over aplenty, and they're letting Homestead really outwork them on offense. Put up some points, force some turnovers, and get fast break buckets. It really feels like Carroll's just out of their comfort zone and really struggling in this game.
Well, I think the big difference maker is right here is Carroll, they don't have a big man. And if they're going with the slow offense, they're moving the ball, but they have no one to throw it to down low. I mean, their best chance is to either have a 6'2" guy drive in and hope for the best, or a 3-point shot. I mean, this Carroll team does not have that mix of the 3-point shooters and the big men down low.
It definitely is a big factor. And there's another steal. Fletcher Lawyer with it, fast break, and he is fouled. Looks like they'll send Lawyer to the line.
Yeah, right there, Fletch off a turnover, drives right in and draws contact. We see Fletch go to the free throw line a lot, and it's because of that same play right there, him just driving in, forcing teams to foul.
Carroll sending Homestead's best free throw shooter to the line, 86% on the season. We talked about it in the pregame show, a Mr. Basketball candidate, 27.3 a game, 3.8 assists a game, and 5.4 boards a game. He's got the team's season high in points with 37, assists with 7 in a game, and 5 steals in a game as well. This guy, he's legit, folks.
Yeah, and before he got that 37, he was sitting at 33 points, his highest. That just shows how much of a consistent shooter he is in his consistent points per game.
Carroll with the ball. Down 12. In a tough situation, only 3 points in this first half so far. Like we said, haven't scored since the first possession of this ball game. They really need something to get some energy, because right now it feels like when they have the ball, it's a quiet gym and there's just no life.
I mean, even the Carroll fans aren't, getting pumped up or anything like that.
And another turnover. Cannonhauser lost it. Lawyer off the glass and into the cup. 17-3, Lawyers up to 4.
Again, it's the same thing for Carroll. They're just turning the ball up.
Shot up, and he can't get that to go. The Carroll Chargers are just having an off game right now. Lawyer down low, tough one, and one! Falling back, doesn't matter.
Big and one right there by Fletcher Lawyer. I always say it, he's got that bulldog mentality, and right there he drives in and finishes at the hoop.
A.J. Bain called for the foul. Timeout by the Chargers. Full timeout, Homestead. Firing on all cylinders, 19-3 over Carroll.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena. Homestead leads 19-3 over Carroll. 5:31 left in this second quarter. Lawyer makes the first, or actually, it was an and one. So just one free throw, converts it. He's up to 7 points in this game. Homestead going a little full court defense. And double teaming when they can as well.
I think those defense adjustments, I really don't think it's going to help you for Carroll because they're just going to keep moving the ball around, try to find the open shot.
Hafner gets the first points for Carroll since the first possession. Lawyer thought about step up. He'll take one, and he responds. Already up to double digits. 10 points for number 2.
Quiet first 10 points for Fletcher Lawyer, and I feel like I've been saying that a lot about him this season. When he gets up to some high points, it feels like he does it quietly and already up to 10 points.
Carroll trying to get something to go. It's a foul called on Homestead, just their second of this first half.
And look at that shot right there. Fletcher Lawyer stepping up and hitting a three, just an answer from the Hafner three-point shot.
Chargers, they need an answer too, down 17, yet to hit double-digit scoring. Pardon spins around, and he is fouled on the way up. 72% free throw shooter heading to the line.
That swing second foul right there for Homestead. He's up to 2 fouls. You know, just a tough one for him taking back-to-back fouls in the matter of 20 seconds.
Jackson Pardon, just a sophomore on this team. He's along with 5 sophomores in this starting lineup. We talked about it earlier, very young team. Young team to build around for the first-year head coach, Ryan Abbott. He comes from Eastside, where he coached from 2013 to 2021. Had 5 winning seasons with that team. At Eastside right now, they're having a great year. They're 19-1, number 3 in Class 2A. Really building off of the program that he built.
Even knocked off Central Noble was that Eastside team. Central Noble, a well-respected team, so Eastside putting together a great season.
And their only loss is to Central Noble the game before, so pretty much erased that one loss outside of off the paper. Carroll's getting a little energy here. Nice block on the defensive end. 2 points on their last offensive possession. Bringing a little life to the Carroll student section. Kapowicki in the left wing. And Homestead, they've noticed the quiet gym on the opposite side of the floor. That student section riled up. It's one of the deepest student sections I've seen Homestead have all season. They really show up for the rivalry game.
We got to expect that. Homestead Carroll is the biggest game in the area. Homestead and Carroll, it definitely brings the best out of both schools.
Hanson Hafner, that's his second foul, sends Homestead to the bonus. First free throw good by Fletcher Lawyer, so we'll get that +1. 24-8, Homestead tripling Carroll's score with 4 minutes left. Lawyer's having a great one so far, perfect from the line, 75% from beyond, and he's up to 12 points.
I mean, I think Carroll's got to, you got to just find your footing and get things going right now. A lot of time off the clock, and you find yourself down 25-8.
And a hard foul. Max Schultz going to be called for it. Seems to be a little frustrated, thought that was a back and forth between him and Jackson Pardon. And that's his second foul.
A tough one right there. Obviously, Max wants the offensive foul, just not going to get it there.
Inbound. Once again, great inbound defense from Homestead. Carroll adjusts. Hafner deep in the left wing. Surprised to see Carroll not urgent to speed things up, and there's another turnover. That time the defense didn't force it. Miscommunication between Hafner and Pardon.
Yeah, just a bad pass taken right there. Pardon trying to cut up the court, and Hafner just passes it right behind him. Carroll struggling on offense right now, even with their slow strategy.
Fondia, Zacuto, now Kapowicki. Schultz in the right wing. Homestead, they're slowing things down a little bit on this possession. Not intentionally, just looking for a 3-ball. Lawyer will take one and gets it to go. Stares down the Carroll bench as he walks away. He's got 15 points.
Lawyer's having himself a great game, up to 15 points of the 28 from Homestead. He's putting himself a game.
3-ball in the corner. Hafner off the front of the iron. Lawyer tried to get the rebound out of bounds. Carroll will have it. A little substitution here as Hanson Hafner checking out. Sinesh coming in. Charlie Rudolph also subbing out. AJ Bain in. Deep inbound, almost intercepted by Schultz. Jackson Pardon gets it. 3-ball Hauser off the front of the iron. Kapowicki rebound. Quick in transition. Shot off the glass and into the basket. A foul. A charge on Kyron Kapowicki. Homestead student section doesn't like it. First offensive foul of this game for Homestead. That basket will not count.
Tough charge taken right there from Homestead, but that's a good defensive play by Pardon coming over and drawing the charge.
Pardon crossed the timeline for Carroll. 28-8. Chargers got to get something going. Nice steal by Max Schultz as Pardon was in the air, and Carroll gets a steal of their own. Kanan Hauser there to get the pass. Or correction, that was Sampson. 3-ball, left it off the backboard.
That's a pretty fast-moving possession right there from Carroll's offense, though.
Grant Leaper, shot up, left it too strong. Rebound Sampson. Just a freshman who gets a lot of minutes with this team. Big aspirations in his varsity career with Carroll. Ooh, Sinesh left it way too strong for Sampson. Lawyer, 3-ball. He just won't miss. 18 points.
You know Fletcher's feeling it, up to 18 already in the second quarter. You know he's feeling it.
He is having a stupendous game so far. 31-8. Whistle blown, an elbow thrown by Grant Leaper. Off-ball foul, team 6th, the one away from sending Carroll to a bonus. And Fletcher Lawyer, what a game he's been having. 18 points. 3-ball top of the key, good for Jackson Pardon. Carroll hits double digits. Kapowicki left wing. Feed to Ezecudo, top of the key. Bounce pass, Grant Leeper. Whistle and a foul. So Grant Leeper to the line for the 1-1. Call that foul on A.J. Bain, his second.
Fouls are starting to pick up a little bit here in the second quarter. Carroll pushing up to 8 fouls. Homestead was 6, so we see the fouls starting to incline a little bit.
Kapowicki offensive board, and he is fouled on the way up. Homestead this time getting 2 guaranteed ones at the line. Kapowicki, a 79% free throw shooter. 2 free throws.
Yeah, just right there, you see Carroll give up, a bad rebound, for their sake, as Homestead jumping in there getting an offensive rebound after a free throw.
Homestead, they have dominated this game in and out. Haven't faced a team that has held the ball to start off the game this season, and they adjusted beautifully. Right out of the gates. Held Carroll to 3 points in the first quarter. Playing a great one right now, and even as Carroll speeds things up, still shutting out the Chargers.
You're up to a 22-point game right now, almost heading towards halftime. So, this Carroll team came out a little bit slow. I think it kind of came back on them.
Jackson Pardon, tough one. A.J. Bain with the board. Put back, no good by Sinesh, and Ezecudo gets the board. Homestead defensively stepping up as well. Down low, Ezecudo. Now Schiltz left wing, give to Kapowicki. He feeds Lawyer. Creates some space, tough one off the front of the iron, rebound by Ezecudo. Maybe a little bit of a heat check by Fletcher Lawyer. No harm, no foul though with the offensive board, and Homestead will hold for the final shot.
Yeah, Carroll's deficit at halftime. It's going to be a big one. Going to be 22, 24, 25. The Carroll deficit at halftime. Got to go win and discuss at halftime. I think you got to come out and speed things up.
Coming up, the OPS halftime report. Johanningsmeier and Anthony Gery join you on the floor for that show. Don't go anywhere during the break. Ezecudo, 5 seconds out to Schiltz, corner 3 ball. No good. Offensive board, Lawyer, tough one. Got it to go, and they'll count it. He is up to 20 points. And the half ends with Homestead up 35-11. Let's go down to sideline reporter Karlie Flanagan with head coach Chris Johnson.
Thanks, Brayden. And Coach, 24-point lead here at the half. Carroll slowed things down early, but you were able to force some turnovers to get the offense going. How would you assess your team's first half?
Well, I think defensively we're locking in. Offense is always going to be there for us, I feel like. We just got to keep on moving the basketball.
Okay, good luck in the second half. Brayden, back to you.
Thank you, Karlie. We're going to take a break. Next up, the OPS halftime report. Homestead, what a first half. 35-11 over the Chargers.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Marco's Pizza. Located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco specializes in pizza, subs, and more. Order online at marcos.com or by phone at 625-6800. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the .91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
This is the OPS Halftime Report.
Welcome to the OPS Halftime Report. I'm Anthony Gery, alongside sports analyst Noah Johanningsmeier. And Noah, how about that first half from the Spartans? They not only showed up offensively, but defensively in the first half.
Yeah, in the first half, it was really an all-around effort that the Spartans just put together. They started off slow. The Chargers were milking the clock. The Spartans were able to play great basketball and really got it going in that second quarter.
It was a really interesting strategy for Carroll out of the gates. Just hold the ball a lot on offense, take a lot of time off the clock. It looked like they wanted to keep it as close as possible, but in the second quarter, it was a whole new story. Defensively, the Spartans forced so many turnovers, and offensively, Fletcher Lawyer showed up.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Johnson making the adjustment to put pressure on the Chargers guards, force the turnovers, make them go quick, because the Chargers were milking the clock. They were taking time. The Spartans flipped the script and started to get things going quickly.
And it clearly worked as we now take a look at the stats from the first half, and Homestead completely dominated from the field, 58% versus Carroll's 18%.
Yeah, the Spartans were able to just shoot from beyond very well, and just overall they were playing at high efficiency on the offensive end.
They did everything right, and from the line, 80% from three, 50%. It is hard to beat a team when they're shooting that well.
Yeah, when you're shooting 80% from the free throw line and 50% from three, it's just absurd to try to go against that team. It's going to be very hard to beat a squad like that.
Homestead's taking care of the job here, trying to secure an SAC title. So now we're going to take a look at some scores from around the SAC, see how other teams are performing at the moment. And right now, Homestead, they stand on top of the SAC ahead of Snyder, who right now Snyder is trailing to Southside by 4 points.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of a surprise to see Snyder down against the Archers, but those are both two good squads. Southside, when they played the Spartans, they kept it in a close and intense battle, made it go down to the last seconds, and Snyder was actually able to beat the Spartans. So that's definitely a fun matchup to watch.
Southside also made a really close game against Homestead, so a little bit of comparison as you see Southside, who has been on a run recently, leads over the Panthers. A couple other scores. Wayne up 11 over Concordia. A little bit surprising that the Wayne Generals are leading by 11 over the number 3 team in the SAC.
Yeah, Concordia, they really had a hot start to the SAC play, but since then they have not been playing too great. They just took the loss to the Spartans, and now they are struggling against the Generals.
And lastly, Bishop Dwenger over Northrop, another little bit of a surprising game, seeing Bishop Dwenger lead by 8.
Yeah, both teams really middle of the pack squads in the SAC, but Dwenger, they've been able to get things going recently, got a nice win over the Panthers a couple weeks ago, and they are riding that momentum right now up against Northrop.
Now we're going to take a look at some of our SAC headlines, starting with Ben Skoranek, the Homestead native basketball and football star, now has a Super Bowl ring. Noah, I think it's pretty exciting to say that someone who played in this very gym now has won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and Ben Skoranek just accomplishing so many milestones for the Spartans. When he got drafted, he was the first Spartan in the NFL, and now he has the first Spartan with a Super Bowl ring.
And in the Super Bowl game, he really stepped up for the Rams. Odell Beckham Jr. went out in the second quarter with an ACL tear, and he was the next guy up off the bench, and he really stepped up for the Rams. Only had 2 receptions for 12 yards, but he got some blocks, and he helped the Rams win that Super Bowl.
Yeah, and most of the season, Skoranek didn't really get much playing time, but on the big stage, that's when he got to go out there on the field and make some big plays.
It truly is pretty awesome seeing Ben Skoranek play the way that he did. Our second SAC headline is that there's a sectional draw coming up, and it's going to have a lot of importance for both of these teams, especially Homestead, seeing who they play early in the sectional and who do they have to play in the regional, assuming they make it.
Yeah, it's going to be important watching that sectional draw, see who the Spartans end up playing against and see who or if they're going to be able to get the bye.
That will be streamed on IHSAA TV at 5 p.m. And lastly, our last SAC headline is Ayanna Patterson, whose season came to an early end against Noblesville last weekend, was named to be the top 5 player in the country nominated for the Naismith Award.
Yeah, it's completely deserved by Ayanna Patterson. We saw all season long her dominance, just constantly getting 20-point double-doubles left and right, making it look normal and doing it with ease. Patterson deserves all the recognition she's getting.
And I might be a little bit biased in saying this, but I think Patterson deserves to win the Naismith Award. She's played like the best player in the country.
Yeah, every game in, game out, she was just completely dominant and unstoppable and led the Spartans to the successful season they had.
And not only a successful season, but a successful career for Ayanna Patterson. It truly is pretty amazing. Noah, do you have any final thoughts before we head into the second half of this game?
Just looking at that second quarter performance by Fletcher Lawyer, that 20 points, just absolutely absurd to see his dominance, and we'll see if that can continue to the second half.
We will see. Homestead up by a lofty 24 points. When we come back, Brayden, Carroll, and Chris Kohrman will be up in the booth with the second half of play.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena. Homestead up 35-11 after one half of play, on pace for their lowest defensive allowed points a game, and on pace for possibly breaking or tying the all-time turnovers in a game record, 4 against Columbia City back in the 90s. And right now, having a great one with only 2 turnovers through one half of play.
Yeah, very impressive coming out for Homestead defensively, and then, like you said, Brayden, 2 turnovers in the first half of play. That's amazing for them, and defensively only giving up 11 points.
Fletcher Lawyer, he's got 20 points. He's on pace for a season high. 37 against Wayne last week, and right now on pace for 40. Homestead will start off with possession, and the inbound will go to Fletcher Lawyer. Gritty swing, left wing. Give to Lawyer. Back to swing, now Kalpawiki. Homestead hanging around the perimeter. Cross-court pass, Leaper, open 3 ball. Swish! Andrew Leaper from beyond.
Yeah, Homestead off to a good start, basically where they left off in the first half. Andrew Leaper comes out and knocks down a 3.
Hanson Hafner across the timeline, bounce pass to Pardon. And he's stolen. Fletcher Lawyer, fast break, open lane, and the layup goes. Steal and the bucket, he's up to 22.
Yeah, and we see Carroll struggling again with the turnovers right now. Homestead comes out and gets another one right there, and Fletch finishes it at the bucket.
Andrew Sinesh now for the Chargers. They really need something. Down 29, 6 away. Homestead 6 away from going to the mercy rule. Wild 3 ball by Jackson Pardon from deep.
Didn't need that one. Definitely not a forced shot right there by Carroll.
Gritty swing open in the corner. No good. Ball up. Out of bounds. They'll say off of Carroll. Andrew Sinesh, the last one to touch it. Under the basket, inbound here for the Spartans.
Yeah, like you said, Brayden, Homestead moving closer to that 35-point mark. It's just going to run the clock for the rest of the game if Homestead can get there.
Leaper, tough shot, no good. 2 Chargers fought for the rebound there. Hafner and Sinesh. It is a quiet gym here at Spartan Arena. 3 ball in the corner. Tough one by Rudolph. Can't get it to go. Warriors defense closing in. Swing. Thought about another corner 3. Now Andrew Leaper. Give to Lawyer. Follows the screen, back to Andrew Leeper, open 3 ball, swish! 2 of 2 from beyond in this second half, and Homestead is 3 points away from the mercy rule. 8 points for Andrew Leeper.
Yeah, right there we see Andrew Leeper hitting his second 3 of the game, back-to-back 3-point makes for him, so he's coming out firing in the third.
Kanan Hauser in the corner, Kalpoiki guarding, give to Rudolph. Hanson Hafner cuts through the defense, back out Hauser. And a foul on Hanson Hafner. Offensive turnover. That's the 3rd foul for Hanson Hafner. He's got 3 points in this game.
Just a tough one for him, definitely a role player for Carroll, one of the older ones for that Carroll team. So, he's definitely a leader on that team. Just a tough break for him, up to 3 fouls.
He's one of 2 scores in this game for the Chargers. Grant Leeper fouled on the way up. He's going to the line for 2 free throws. Like I said, he's only one of 2 scores for the Chargers, as he's got 3. And Jackson Pardon has the other 8. Grant Leeper, 46% free throw shooter, gets the first one to go.
Bringing it to 33 points, Homestead lead.
This would be the earliest that Homestead would send a team to the mercy rule. Lawyer gets the offensive board. Kalpoiki, 3 ball, good! And Homestead sends Carroll to the mercy rule, the fastest that they've done it all season.
Yeah, just a great come out right here for Homestead, coming out flying around, and he gets to the 35.
Another steal by Lawyer. Tough shot, can't get it. Wanted the foul. Great swing offensive board. A miscommunication between him and Swing. Try to get past and then instead a shot up. Mercy rule indicates a rolling clock. Can only be implemented in the second half. Once the team reaches a 35-point lead, doesn't stop. Only for injuries, timeouts, free throw shots. Speaking of timeouts, Coach Abbott will take one for the Chargers. It'll be a full timeout. Homestead, 36-point lead, sending the Chargers to the mercy rule. Welcome back, Spartan Arena, after the Carroll timeout. Homestead leads by 36. Mercy rule here at Spartan Arena. Shot up in the first points of this second half for the Chargers. Goes to Andrew Sidish. Or no, that's A.J. Bain, actually. First 2 points of the game.
Yeah, that's the 3rd Carroll scorer of the game.
Another 3 for Kalpoiki. He is 4 of 6 from beyond in this game. 14 points he's got.
Yeah, Kalpoiki stepping up big in this one. And like you said, Brayden, 4 of 6.
He's 1 point away from tying his season high of 15. Both him and Fletcher Lawyer having a great one. Speaking of Lawyer, gets the steal, forces it off of Jair Sampson. And another turnover forced by the Spartans.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Fletcher Lawyer just chucking the basketball at the Carroll player and getting the ball back for Homestead.
Max Schultz, right wing. It's a Grant Leeper at the perimeter. Now Lawyer, 3 ball, catch and shoot. No good. Rebound, Andrew Sidish. The energy is really sucked out of Spartan Arena. First quarter was loud. Right now, it's a lot of silence. Ball stays with Carroll after the Kanan Hauser miss. 3:18 left in this game. Homestead 50, Carroll 13. You can see that clock rolling.
You know, I thought the first quarter kind of went by fast. We saw Carroll going with the slow pace. Second quarter felt a little bit longer. The third one going by fast with that running clock.
Charlie Rudolph saves the turnover. Keeps it with the Chargers. Sampson, left wing. Give to Rudolph, guarded by Schultz. Yeah, one thing I've noticed this season, it seems like Homestead, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but it seems to be the same number guards the same number. I've seen Cal Buiki guard somebody who's number 12. I've seen Max Schultz guard somebody who's number 4. I've seen Fletcher Lawyer guard somebody who's number 2. It's a weird pattern that I've noticed.
You've seen that multiple games?
I have seen it multiple. It always kind of, I always notice it.
Well, that could be Coach Johnson's strategy. Put numbers together.
If it is their strategy, it works. 17-5 on the season.
Because defensively, they're a very good team.
Right now, they're showing up defensively. Double-digit turnovers that they forced in the first half against the Chargers. Long possession here for the Chargers. A.J. Bain in the corner. Feed to Sinesh. Homestead just playing sound defense all around. Shot up, rolls around, no good. Andrew Leeper almost accidentally put it in. That would have been a little bit of an oopsie. Cal Pawiki now. Andrew Leeper, 3-ball, rolls around and out. Schultz gets the rebound for Homestead. Lawyer can't get it. Andrew Leeper, and he's fouled. Homestead really controlling these offensive boards.
Yeah, Carroll, they've kind of lost their aggressiveness jumping towards the rebound. Right now, they're not doing that.
Andrew Leeper's got 8 points in this game. If he can get both of these, he'd be the second Spartan, or the third Spartan to reach double-digit points. Minute 5 left in this third quarter. Homestead up 50-13. Makes the second one. He's up to 9 points in this game.
We're down to a minute 5 right now for Carroll. They're going to come down the court, look for a quality possession on offense to end the third.
This is one of those games that the team just lets go in the first half, and Carroll really let this game get out of hand quickly. And a 3-ball there by Charlie Rudolph from beyond. Just a 27% three-point shooter, but he gets that one. First points of the game. Andrew Leeper, jam! A.J. Bain wasn't ready for it.
That's the answer right there by Andrew Leeper. Going down the court, I'm going to take over. He dunks.
Oh, and a foul called. And Fletcher Lawyer. He wanted to steal instead. Look at the strength. Woo! The Leapers. They are fantastic. Fantastic dunkers. We've seen it all season long. They really know how to bring the energy. When they see an open lane, look out. Ball on the ground. Oh, Carroll keeps it. And that's how the third quarter ends. Homestead 53, Carroll 16.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Spartan Arena. Homestead up 53-16 over Carroll. 1 quarter to play. 8 minutes on this clock, and it's been all Spartan.
Yeah, it's been all of Homestead. Up 53-16, heading into the 4th quarter, and the clock is running, and it's not going to stop running unless they call a timeout.
And Carroll, they have let this game go. Homestead, oh wow, Tucker Day with authority. Come into the game. 3-ball, good! Jake Summershine, first bucket of the season.
The bench players are coming in and they're making noise. Tucker Day with the block and then Summershine with the 3.
Oh, nice shot down low by Jackson Pardon with Will Jamison closing it. Jake Summershine, before that shot, he was 0-3 from beyond. He gets that one to fall. Will Jamison feeds Kenny Austin. Fired it a little too strong. Turnover. Homestead has all their reserves in the game, other than Tucker Day, who's in the usual rotation.
Yeah, I mean, you see the Homestead bench coming in to play the full 4th quarter. This is what you like to see, because you like to see the guys coming up next year. You see what they got, and you get to see it for, the full 4th quarter.
Carroll with the ball. Jackson Pardon, step up 3. And he is fouled from beyond. As Kenny Austin got in his landing spot. So Jackson Pardon averages 10.8 a game. Had 13 last week against Carmel. At the line for 3 free throws.
Yeah, we've seen, Fletcher Lawyer do that type of shot too, where he just kind of jump in, do the foul, and right there he gets one.
Don't forget to tune in to the next game and the last regular season game for Homestead, up against ranked 3A Norwell. Sure to be a big game here at Spartan Arena. Norwell fans travel well too. It's going to be a packed gym, 7:30 on Friday.
Kind of got like a full slate coming up with Norwell. We got senior night. Fletcher Lawyer is going to be honored for his 2000th, career point. So we got a couple big things happening, and then Norwell, very good team. Homestead got their hands full to wrap up the regular season, going against a tough Norwell squad.
Homestead opting to save the 2,000-point ball presentation for senior night. Instead of tonight, they would have done it tonight, but instead are going to wait for senior night. Will Jamison, left wing. Feed to Austin. Summershine, who has 3 points in this one. Now Austin. Top of the key. Jamison, open 3. Switch. Will Jamison. His first 3-pointer of the season.
Now Homestead not taking the foot off the gas. The bench comes in. Summershine hits a 3, then Jamison hits the 3. Homestead's bench is doing great.
This is exactly what you like to see if you're Coach Johnson. The reserves coming in, making an impact. Jamison with the rebound. He feeds Austin. Now Gallagher moves in, shot up, and good. Nice move by Nick Gallagher.
A good shot fake right there by Gallagher. Thought about taking the 3, shot fake, drives in, takes the easy jumper.
5 minutes left in this 4th quarter. Thank you for joining this presentation of Homestead Live. Just 1 left to go in the season. Nice 3-pointer there.
Yeah, Carroll makes a tough 3 right there. It was a pretty contested shot, but he came through and hit the shot.
Kenny Austin, 3, no good. Gets the rebound back. 3-pointer, Gallagher. Left it a little to the left.
And Gallagher trying to step up there, hit his 3. A couple bench players already have. He was trying to get his.
Down low, right door, fouled. So he's going to the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, we see Homestead just, continuing their lead. Up 61-24, continuing on what happened when the starters were in. The benches coming in, they're keeping that lead strong.
And instead it's going to be baseline inbound here for Carroll. Shot up in the corner by Lentz, no good. Jamison rebound, that's his second in his season high. Whistle blown. That's gonna be a foul on the Chargers. Baseline inbound here.
Yeah, like you said, Brayden, before, I mean, the energy of this gym has just gone out.
Tucker Day gets the bucket out of the inbound. His first basket of this game.
Now, let's not forget, Homestead back-to-back SAC champs. Let's not forget that this is a huge win for Homestead, back-to-back SAC champs.
It is kind of sad that for such a big event, it's a pretty quiet gym here at the end of the game. Reitdorf with a nice corner three. 3 points in this game. Tucker Day, nice spin move, can't finish, but he's fouled for the second chance attempt. Clock will keep on going down. Homestead up big, 63-27. If Homestead can hold Carroll to less than 6 points in the remainder of this game, they'll be the best defensive production of the season. Don't forget, this Sunday at 5 p.m. on IHSATV.org, sectional draw for the Huntington North sectional. Homestead, Southside, Columbia City, New Haven, Huntington North, and Wayne. Don't miss it, www.ihsatv.org.
Yeah, gotta look out for that sectional draw. There's a couple teams in there that can make some noise. You got Columbia City at 15-5 overall. You got Southside at 11-7. They gave Homestead a really good game at Southside, so that would be, a good rematch.
It is a great sectional with Snyder in there. Or no, correction, that's Carroll's sectional. They have a tough one, by the way. They got Snyder in there, 13-6 on the season. They have Northrop with Jalen Jackson, their former player, 11-9. Northside, 10-9 on the season. Yeah, DeKalb would beat them earlier this season in overtime. Full timeout here by the Chargers. 64-27. Homestead laying it on rival Carroll.
Rethink your limits.
Homestead up big time in this one, 64-27. Game stats, Homestead shooting 55 in this one. Three ball, no good by Nick Gallagher. Rebound, Carroll.
We saw that Brayden. Homestead at 3 turnovers.
And 1. Chargers really showing up here in this final 2 minutes.
Just to, reiterate what you were talking about, Brayden, with that DeKalb sectional. I mean, tough one. Like you were talking about, they got Snyder in there. They got Northside. They got Northrop. Teams that Carroll has had to battle already this season. Obviously, Carroll looking for a vengeance in those games, but that's just a tough sectional going in for Carroll.
90 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Tucker Day spins around, shot up, and good with a lucky couple bounces off the rim. He's up to 5 points. Down low, tough one. Reitdorf. Foul on Will Jamison. Nice and one by Reitdorf. He has 5 points in this game. Showing up in the minutes that he's had. Free throw almost went in. Tucker Day with the board for Homestead. Sermersheim. Oh, tried to feed the alley to Tucker Day. That would have gotten everybody in here on their feet. Kenny Austin, tough one, doesn't go. Another board for Will Jamison, and one! The young sophomore stepping up.
and one. Big bucket right there coming from Will Jamison, finishing with the and one.
5 points, 3 rebounds. Fantastic performance here in the fourth quarter by Will Jamison, who came in about halfway through the season. He has made his impact. 10 seconds left. Homestead is going to win this one, 68-32. Give them the SAC crown back-to-back for the Spartans.
Back-to-back SAC champions is the Homestead Spartans. Big confidence booster for Homestead, winning the SAC, going into a tough one next Friday against the Norwell Knights.
They improved to 18-5 on the season. They win the SAC, going 8-1 into conference, only lost to the Snyder Panthers. Fantastic conference season for the Spartans. Just one game left in the regular season as they will face Norwell next week. And the Spartans have claimed themselves yet another SAC chip. And we're going to go down to Karlie Flanagan, who is with Andrew Leeper.
Andrew, outright SAC champions for the second consecutive season for the first time since joining the conference. What's that mean to this team?
You know, it means a lot. We had a tough loss here at home against Snyder, and be able to back up from that and win the championship is pretty good.
And an amazing defensive effort from your team tonight. Is this where you want the team to be to wind down for the regular season?
No question. We're playing our best basketball of the year right now. We're going to be just fine going into sectionals and even better.
Last week, you guys got a big win without Fletcher Lawyer. How much confidence did you guys get from winning that game, and did it pay off enough tonight?
It raised a lot of confidence, but then again, we had Fletcher back in the lineup tonight, and he played really, really well, and we couldn't be there without him. And you know, we're playing our best basketball right now.
And last question, one more game left in the regular season. What does this team need to improve on before tournament play?
Just rebounding. I thought they had a lot of offensive rebounds. We could have done a lot better than that. But other than that, we're playing really good.
Okay, good luck with the rest of the season. Brayden, back to you.
Thank you, Karlie. Homestead certainly playing their best basketball of the season. Back-to-back SAC champs. They beat Homestead they beat Carroll 68-32. OPS postgame report coming up.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome to the OPS post-game report. I'm Anthony Gery alongside sports analyst Noah Johanningsmeier. And Noah, pretty good win for Homestead. Not really much competition in the second half. They really walked away with this one.
Yeah, the Spartans really just dominated throughout this one. The Chargers tried to slow down the pace early, but the Spartans flipped the script with great defensive effort and really just messed up the Chargers offense and allowed a season-low 32 points by the Spartans defense.
And all the numbers were in favor for Homestead tonight. As we take a look at our final stats of the game, Homestead shot so much better than Carroll in this ball game. 55% from the field to 30%. There's really not much Carroll could do if Homestead's out shooting them like that.
Yeah, to be able to shoot that well just from the field and from the three-point line, they were so dominant, and the turnover margin is another thing to look at. 14 turnovers for the Chargers, but only 3 for the Spartans.
It was just really a messy game for Carroll, and Homestead played it pretty much perfectly throughout the entire game. We're going to take a look at some of our scores from around the SAC now. And you see right there, Southside up by 3 in the third quarter against Snyder. A very high-scoring game, because that game's still in the third quarter, but that could really be a surprising win for Southside.
Yeah, Southside, a nice team. They played well against the Spartans, and they could really get a signature win right now against the Panthers.
Wayne still leads over Concordia as of right now, up by 7 over the Cadets. And then Northrop, it looks like they took their lead back.
Yeah, Northrop being able to play that well against Dwenger, it's nice to see the Bruins being able to get it going.
And we're going to take a short break here, but when we come back, I'm going to be joined by our player of the game, Fletcher Lawyer.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to the OPS post-game report. I'm joined by our player of the game, Fletcher Lawyer. And Fletcher, with this win tonight, you guys are officially the SAC champions. How does that feel after this pretty crazy season?
Yeah, it feels great. Obviously, after a few early losses, we knew we'd have to come in and fight hard to win this conference, and it means a lot to us, so it feels great to be champions.
Yeah, it must be a pretty big win. This game tonight for the team, what did that mean to the team? Of course, you guys are the champions now, but overall for this whole season, what does it mean?
Yeah, obviously we're rivals, but it feels good to beat Carroll and then now become champions. But we know we're not done yet. We got a few games. We got one more regular season game left, and then we're ready to make a run in March.
And you yourself had an outstanding game today. You had 20 points in just the second quarter alone. You had 20 in a row for Homestead on that run. How'd that feel, just getting the offense rolling for the Spartans?
Yeah, early on they kind of held the ball, Carroll did, so we knew we'd have to get out and run a little bit, got a few transition buckets, and then once I saw that first shot go down, I knew I was going to have a pretty good night, and my teammates kept giving it to me, and they trusted me, so we pulled out with the win.
And then on Sunday, you have the selection show. What are you hoping for? What is the team hoping to see out of that selection?
Whatever we got to do, it doesn't really matter to us. We're going to come ready to play. We're going to do whatever it takes to win and take it game by game. We're not going to look ahead or anything. We're just going to try to win sectional and then keep winning.
All right, thank you, Fletcher. And that is the end of our live stream today. I'm Anthony Gery on behalf of the entire Homestead Live crew. Thank you for watching today. Have a great rest of your day.